Happy Thanksgiving Eve to all you filthy Americans out there, and happy, I don't know what the hell it is north of the border, happy classic Rusty Wednesday to all my filthier Canadians north of the border. I guess in the U.S., everybody's going to be out. The Stevie Bong Rips is going to be out somewhere in the outskirts of Detroit trying to hook up with that girl from high school who never gave him a chance, but now he thinks he's coming in with that full confidence. He's a money. He goes, don't call me Steven anymore.
Steven?
It's Stevie.
Steven!
Stevie Bong Rips. So that's what's going on here in the U.S., and I guess in Canada, you're just sitting on your couch. It's a standard Wednesday, and before the games start, you're watching. You know, I never thought about the fact that I just assumed at 7 and 7:30, you're getting some sort of Wheel of Fortune. Is Jeopardy watched in Canada, or is that a U.S. thing? Do you have your own 7 and 7:30 game shows that I have no clue about? You want to know my theory about Wheel of Fortune? How do you like that on a day with endless games? You're going to hear my Wheel of Fortune theory. I always thought that Wheel of Fortune was only included so that the idiots who got nothing correct in Jeopardy felt a little better about themselves. Well, I got that sentence on Wheel of Fortune. You were awful in Jeopardy.
You never had your car.
There are a lot of primetime hockey games on during this Thanksgiving Eve when Stevie's doing his pre-gaming before going out to that local Detroit bar. I'm going to start with this matchup between the Carolina Hurricanes and the New York Rangers. Now, at first glance, you say to yourself, the Carolina Hurricanes are playing as well as a team could play. The Rangers are playing as poorly as a team could play. The fans are lambasting them. The GM is threatening to trade Trouba, Kreider. This is as poor as they can be playing. So you would think, oh my God, Carolina, they got eliminated by the Rangers in the playoffs. Everything that they're going to stomp them. The third string goalie X factor makes me a little scared to just say, okay, give me the Carolina Hurricanes. You saw, look, they beat the Dallas Stars, but that was no picnic. They had to come back several times throughout that game, and Dallas was able to score, I believe, 4 goals on them. And it's just that third string goalie situation that kind of worries me, which is why I'm not going to take Carolina, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to find picks that essentially are insinuating Carolina is going to play the better game. They have all the motivation in the world. The team who beat them and came back from 2 goals down in the third period in their building to eliminate them from the playoffs are coming back into their building, and they're coming back into their building limping. The Rangers are giving up 40 shots a game over these last 3 or 4 games. And Carolina is a team that I think I just stumbled into picks that I didn't even have originally. I got to go check some of these Carolina Hurricanes shots on goal props. But in that game, we saw the reintroduction of Seth Jarvis into the lineup, and it really made a big difference. And we were quickly reminded of the chemistry that he has with that top-line player in Sebastian Aho, who's having a fantastic year. Jarvis connected with Aho for 2 separate goals. And I think taking these 2 guys, because Jarvis has been out of the lineup, and if you remember, before Jarvis got injured, he was on that random third line. They just threw him down there, and he had to just make it work the best that he could. He was obviously still getting some power play points, but now that he's up on the top line and playing with Aho, both of those guys, for a point, is plus 130. If Svechnikov was still up there, it would probably be plus 100, plus 105. But because we got that injury Jarvis price, I'm going to put him with Sebastian Aho to register a point against the New York Rangers. And then how about a little snake trick for you Draftkings folk? You know I'm always checking with my monocle, looking in the crevices, trying to find something. Oh, they taketh away our good odds on Draftkings? Well, what else did they do? If they took that away, maybe they added something. If you noticed, if you go to the assist tab, we obviously got that Schmaltz assist with the Keller point last night. The interesting thing about the assist tab, it's a 2-way market. The points are 1-way markets, meaning you can take the over and only the over. You can take unders on assists, and either they're going to add the unders for points or this isn't going to last for long. So you want to know what I'm doing? Give me Aho and Jarvis for a point. and give me random third line, second power play Riley Smith for under half of an assist. That will bump this price up, and we can do it in a weird strategic way. I'm not just taking it to take it. The Rangers shuffled their lines, and they're missing Chris Kreider, who's day-to-day, which meant that they sent Riley Smith down to the third line. They have that classic top line together of Lafreniere, Panarin, and Trocheck. So where does that leave Mika Zibanejad? Oh, it leaves him on a random second line with Will Cooley and a rookie, I believe, which is why I'm going under half of a point for Mika Zibanejad. The same way we took the under half of a point for Brock Besser, this is a fantastic value for Mika Zibanejad. He's playing essentially the worst hockey he's played in years. The fans are ripping him. The announcers are ripping him. The MSG network staff is ripping him. He's having a tough go of it. He looks a little more concerned about his next DJ session at EDC over the summer or something because he's not playing up to his potential and the fans are letting him know about it. Under half of a point. With those two line mates, it's worth this to... I know you don't like unders. What do you want me to do? Every night I look at the slate, I go, that's a value, that's a value. It's a good value, the same way the Besser point was a good value. So give me the under half of a point for Mika Zibanejad. But that's not the only under half of a point that I like. There are other similar situations and circumstances right down the block from Stevie Bongrips, who's going to be hitting on that high school girl who says, call me Stevie now. There's also going to be those Detroit Red Wings playing against the Calgary Flames. Detroit, who hasn't had Patrick Kane these last couple of games. If you saw last game, they went with Larkin, Raymond, and Vlad Tarasenko on the top line, which meant that Debrincat was down to the second line with Comfer, and I forget who the other winger was, but you have an isolated Alex Debrincat, his under half of a point. It's as if he was playing on that top line with Larkin and Raymond. He's not playing on that top line with Larkin and Raymond. Larkin and Raymond both got points last game. You want to know who didn't? Alex Debrincat. I'm going under half of a point. And then I see yet another opportunity for an under half of a point. Hey, look, you eat your fruits and vegetables and you eat healthy, and then we'll get to the stuff that you like right after this. But these are good values. I am going to be taking them. And the final one on the night is going to be Evgeny Malkin, the under half of a point. Pittsburgh, if you check their practice reports, they're putting Raquel and Rust up top with Crosby, which leaves Malkin on an island with himself. Who are they going to put on his wings? A couple of forwards you're not going to have to worry too much about. So I'm going under half of a point for Evgeny Malkin against the Vancouver Canucks, who are coming off of a shutout. And you know I like teams who just pitched a shutout to continue to play good defense. So give me that under half of a point for Evgeny Malkin. Now I want to take a look at this Chicago Blackhawks Dallas Stars game. You're not going to like some of what I'm about to say. The same way if I say, hey, I want you to take the under half of a point for Alex Debrincat. You go, come on, man, he's playing on that top line. No, look. He's not playing with Larkin anymore. He's not playing with Raymond anymore. Patrick Kane's out of the lineup. Okay? This is how you calm down a gargoyle. Connor Bedard, not only is he not registering points, he's not even recording shots on goal. And their coach, Luke Richardson, who was an absolute disaster offensively when he played, now has decided that as a coach, he's going to be an absolute disaster offensively as well. Through 20-plus games this season, these Blackhawks are giving Connor Bedard some of the worst wingers you've ever seen. It's not like the team has no wingers to use. We saw him have good chemistry with Kurashev last year. We saw him play with Taylor Hall pretty well last year as well. How many times have those three players played together on the same top line this year? Yes, that's right, a grand total of 0. We're about to see that this game. We're about to see Hall, Kurashev, and Bedard on the top line. Those two players will find a way to get Bedard the puck a little more than Jason Dickinson and whoever the hell they were with last game. I want the over 2.5 shots on goal for Connor Bedard. It's minus 110. It's been hammered down, but I can assure you, what you saw in the previous stretch of games, it does not apply to this. When I saw him with Dickinson and Reichel or whoever, yeah, there's no way I was taking any sort of overs on Connor Bedard. In fact, I took his season-long under, which was available on ESPN Bet. But playing with Kurashev and Hall, I have confidence that I'm not even saying that he's going to score a goal. Over 2.5 shots on goal, it is something that I like in this game. And I think this line change is going to provide some sort of spark on offense. I'm taking Taylor Hall plus 170 for a point. I think that top line's going to connect at some point in this game. I'm going plus 170 over half of a point for Taylor Hall. And I like the Blackhawks over 2.5 goals. Call it a sniff. Call it a Thanksgiving Eve sniff. I want the over 2.5 shots on goal for Connor Bedard. I want the half of a point for Taylor Hall. And I want the over 2.5 goals for the Chicago Blackhawks. How do you like that? And then lastly, I want to take a quick look at those Colorado Avalanche, who were absolutely embarrassed in that last game against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Absolutely embarrassed. There are a couple different ways to go with this game. Once again, whether they're scoring a ton like 2 games ago against Florida, or they're conceding a ton because they don't have the best goaltending still, as we saw. I mean, a lot of those goals weren't Gorgiev's fault. They don't have extremely reliable goaltending. We'll just leave it at that. I think the over 6.5 in this game, once again, with the Colorado Avalanche, whether they're scoring or conceding, we're getting to that over 6.5 2 straight games. I'm looking for that to continue against the Vegas Golden Knights. You know, you can be playing with fire a little bit with the Golden Knights when it comes to overs. But I mean, they just had a 5-4 game against the Philadelphia Flyers. What I really like in this game is their leader, Nathan MacKinnon. We're getting his over 1.5 points in a home game. Any home game for Nathan MacKinnon at plus 110 for over 1.5 points, I think is something that I have to take. You show me these guys. You show me these Kucherovs, these McKinnons, these McDavids, plus 110, plus 1 anything in a home game. I think that is worth a sniff. After that awful performance, I'm looking for Nathan MacKinnon to come out flying in this game against the Vegas Golden Knights. Give me MacKinnon over 1.5 points for plus 110. And that is what I have for you here on a fully stacked Thanksgiving Eve Wednesday slate. Good luck to you. Better luck to me. I mean, I didn't even include football picks. I'm going to do a separate Thanksgiving Black Friday football video just because there were so many games to get to. And I didn't even get to many. There are so many more games that I could talk about. I will post a couple more picks when it comes to those games on the Patreon. I'll also get out the whole plethora bingo card of line combinations for this Wednesday slate. Hope you got some extra shekels because that's what you're going to need to sprinkle it around on all these line combos. Hopefully I will see you guys over on the Patreon. If not, look out for the football video, the Thanksgiving game and the Black Friday game. I will put out a video for those. Hopefully I will see you guys on the Patreon on those videos. Take it easy and have a regular ass Wednesday up there in all of Canada. Talk to you next time.